welcome to Good Company. And yes, I have good company again today, and I'm so excited. Joanne Bieler is joining me. She is an author specifically for children, but who knows what the future holds. Joanne, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Holly.
Now, you're Canadian. You live in the Ontario area. And
I
it's
do.
always incredible to talk to Canadian authors and talent. So tell us, what area in Ontario are you from?
I am from Mississauga. So, yeah,
Yeah!
part of the GTA. Yes.
I love it. So, what was it about being an author that made you kind of focus more on children's books?
Well, you know what? It was never in my plan to be an author. I worked a long time in the corporate world. And it was back in 2006 when my daughter was 6, where I had gone through a lot of things back then. And it was then when I had gotten myself kind of settled back in the GTA. And I felt the Lord say, "You need to write a book." And I thought, a book? When am I going to do that? And so I was a single mom at the time, unfortunately, but it was a seed for another time. So fast forward, I got restructured. And then that's when I felt the Lord say, and that was a long time later, like 14, 15 years later. I should go back and count that. But that's when he said, "What about that book?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Mm-hmm.
But it was never on my radar. But children have always been a real huge focus for me. And being a single mom and then a mom of only one child, I was very, very conscious of what went into her eyes and her ears. So when she was growing up, that was really important. So yeah, that's part of the reason anyway.
Yeah. Well, you talk about God and how he really brought you to this place that you never even imagined. When
Right.
did your relationship with God start? Share a little bit about your testimony.
Oh, that's really great. Well, I grew up in the church. And so in terms of growing up in the church, I really never learned what the power of God meant. And because I never learned what the power of God meant, that means I made some decisions when I was younger that I wish I hadn't. And they were, faux pas, they were mistakes, they were blunders, because I never had really anything to fall back on. I didn't know what the power of God was, having that operating in my life. So it was in 2005 that I happened to drive by this particular church in Mississauga. And I thought, I wonder what that church is. It didn't really look like a regular church.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went in and it was the best experience ever. And but just prior to that, when things were kind of rough, I started watching different evangelists on TV. And I won't get into all those details, but they were what really was the catalyst for opening my eyes to believing God, trusting God, and just having him operating in my life at a totally different level than I'd ever imagined or lived through before.
Okay, I have maybe a deep question for you, but I find that there's usually one area in our life that God uses to reel us closer to him. So during that season, what was it about God that drew you to him? Like, was it his
Oh
love,
my
his
goodness.
peace? What was it
Yes.
that you're like, okay, I need God number one in my life?
Desperation.
Mm,
Desperation. So I had trusted, believed God, prayed. My only prayer was to be a young mom. And when that didn't happen, it took actually 15 years before I was able to get pregnant. So during that process, I ended up just building my career. And so I was taught to be diligent, work hard, be kind, all the good things, love
mm-hmm.
people. But I didn't develop that true relationship with the Lord. So what I did do, and because of that, which is super key to me, was I was really insecure as a kid. So that translates into your adult life if that's not addressed. But I was pretty confident in the corporate world because I knew how to work hard. And when you work hard and people notice, then you start to climb. And so that was really the best part of my life up until my daughter, because I was able to let go of the past, be more confident in my sort of space. But when I got pregnant and then things started to go downhill in my relationship, I was in a desperate situation, to answer your question.
Yeah.
So it was then that I had to pull on him. and have him be something in my life that I never knew was possible. And so that really dovetails into just my focus right now with children, and just wanting them to have that same power of God operating in their lives that I didn't have, but then I grew into. So yeah, it's really huge for parents to be able to teach their kids about the power of God. So yeah, he helped me through a really rough time. I don't know how many people I've told this, not too many people, but I literally sat with in sort of a court environment when I was going through my separation and so on, with the Joyce Meyer book on my lap, which was The Secret Power of Speaking God's Word. And honestly, if I showed you that book now, it's all tethered. It's not torn, but it's worn.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing book. I still use it to this day. I still recommend it. So it's really a complete parallel to what I want to be able to have happen in children's lives, so they can avoid what I had to go through, and just be able to walk in their authority.
Yeah. And out of that, I mean, I wish God could help us learn and grow without going through the trials, but we're human, and that's not how it happens. You went from a child that didn't have a lot of self-confidence into being able to teach your own daughter to have her own self-confidence. And you've got books to help parents teach their kids through these beautiful stories. And so you have a trilogy now, because you just released the third one, which is called, Wait, What? I Can Talk to God?
You did it perfectly.
The first one being Have You Ever? The second being Even When I Mess Up. I think that's a book that resonates with us all. Beautiful stories. Two friends, Ethan and Abby. How did you come up with the characters?
Oh my gosh, you won't believe it. Maybe you will, but it was a complete download. Like I said, I was in the corporate world a long time. Writing was not my thing, but I had a heart for kids. I had definitely a heart for the Lord. And the characters, I knew they had to be ethnically diverse. I wanted them to appeal to as many kids as possible. So that's why Ethan could be half anything. Could be half Indian, half Black, could be half Mexican, Spanish, whatever.
Yeah.
So I wanted that side of things. That was from God as well. And of course, Abby's white, and the two of them are best friends. And Ethan is about 2 years older. He's about 7. She's about 5. And so he likes to impart his wisdom to her in a kid-friendly way. And they're best friends. They both don't have any siblings yet. So in terms of how it all evolved, honest to goodness, it was just pressing into the Lord. And the names, I considered a couple different names, but that just came so quick. I don't even remember what the other names were, but Ethan and Abby just seems to roll. And yeah, it was all from the Lord, I have to say. Give him all the glory.
Yes. Well, why did you start with the idea of Have You Ever?
Because have you ever? So they're all question-based books, right? So have you ever? So getting kids to actually think about, okay, what does God want me to do with my life? But before all that, how did he make this world? Why did he make this world? What does he want me to do in it? And just to get the kids to think about, hey, I should consult with him. I should talk to him. Wait a minute, now he can be my best friend. So it's just establishing those sort of ground rules or foundational understandings with kids, that they understand that, hey, I can get my thoughts, my friendship, my identity all secured in him. Yeah. So yeah, that's where that came from.
So that's the foundation. Then you build by addressing when we make mistakes in our life with book number 2. Yeah. Why did you choose to go in that direction next?
Because my life was just a comedy of errors, and it was super important to me. And it was a revelation when the Lord just cleared everything out of my heart, out of my spirit, and just forgave me for all kinds of mistakes I've made. Because we beat each other up, we beat ourselves up. And we are our own worst enemies at times. And I just want people to know, especially kids, and it resonates with the parents when they're reading it to the kids, that it's even when I mess up, God still loves us. He forgives us. And part of the book talks about, you don't have to ask twice. You can just say you're sorry, mean it from your heart. You tell him, you tell the person that you perhaps hurt, and it's done and it's over with. And then you go to repeat it and God says, like, what are you talking about?
That was so
I don't
yesterday.
remember. Yeah, it was yesterday. I don't
Yeah.
even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So at what point
So
did
he
you
forgives
realize
us.
a third book was in the making?
So quick, so quick. They all came so fast. But what happened was, because people might wonder, well, why was there a break in between? But
Yeah.
so 2021 was when the first book was actually published. But then I had a couple of tragedies in my life. My mom passed away, and that was a big, long story. Not for today, but it was a big, long story. It was a big, long challenge for me in terms of managing her care. And then 1 year, almost to the day, my sister passed away. So there was a lot to go through and to muddle my way through, and just both in the spiritual side and the natural side. Both books were right there on the shelf. They were written, they just hadn't been illustrated. So it was in November 2024 when the second book came out, and then March I was able to publish the third one. So they were all kind of done in very similar timing, believe it or not, but just a bit of a delay in terms of the publishing side.
I find it interesting that your last book is really about talking to God and the idea of prayer, when
Yes.
right now we're in a day and age where Alpha Gen is turning more and more to God. It's a beautiful
Yes.
return, and
Mm-hmm.
talking to God is so important. So, when it comes to the book, can you share a little bit about the story without any spoilers? And just what do you hope that kids and their parents, as they read the book together,
Yeah.
are able to glean from it?
Oh my goodness, that's so good. That's so good. So you know what? I know that it may sound self-serving, but we are who we are for a reason, and we are who we are because of the things that we went through. So we can either dwell in it or we can pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really my heart, is to pay it forward. And really all of them are about showing kids about the power of God and having that operate in their life. So wait, what? I can talk to God. First of all, the wait, what was something that I got from my daughter, because growing up, I don't know if you can attest to it with your kids, but everything was, wait, what, mommy? So that's kind of where that came from. And then she'd have a billion questions, right? So I love the questions. I still love the questions, and kids are so curious. But so wait, what? I can talk to God, like, meaning God's not too busy for me. Aren't they too busy for the adult things? That's one of the questions that Abby asks, to your point. So, and the other one of the fun things that Ethan introduces to her, because she thinks that way, is the fact that the word omnipresence was introduced, and the fact that God is everywhere at all times, and all at the same time, right? So he's everywhere all at the same time. And so he being Ethan explains that in a really fun way. And it's just to bring the absolute revelation to kids from a young age, that they can get their power, their confidence through the Lord. And how do you do that? It's like any friend, right? You talk to them, you develop a relationship, and it's just so important for kids to learn that, because if they don't learn it, then they turn to something else. And if we don't teach our kids that they can have a relationship with God, and that He should be at the foundation, He should represent the foundation and the roof. Because if you don't have a roof on your house, no matter how beautiful it is, the first storm that comes, oh boy, the first storm that comes, everything inside the house is ruined. So it's just to teach the kids that that's where they get their confidence from, no matter what the challenges are. Because like I've said before, God in His word promises that there will be challenges, and we just have to know what to do when we face the challenges. So that's why it's so important to me. I didn't know what to do when I was young. And if you don't know what to do, the world will teach you what not to do. So if you don't teach your child to follow the Lord, oh my goodness, the world is absolutely 100% going to teach them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So follow the world, that is. So yeah. It's huge in my heart.
Aw. Well, what's next? You've got 3 books. Is there a 4th one on the horizon?
I want it to be a series. I want it to be something that just continues to grow. There's all kinds of things mulling around in my head. Nothing's written per se yet, but I see this actually going to a platform for media in terms of YouTube for some sort of television, like the Berenstain Bears was back in the day, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so something
Yes.
like that. Somebody actually came to me and said, Joanne, that's where I see it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a confirmation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt that in my spirit as well. So yeah, I see it playing out that way. So I'm going to focus on getting the word out there on different kinds of platforms, but definitely growing the series to your question, definitely growing it. They will all be question based because that's just the nature of them. Kids, like I said, have a million questions, and I love questions. And I just think that it's a great starting place for parents, educators, whatever the case may be, to have in this busy time after school, whether it's on the weekend, before bed, anything, just to open up the conversations with their kids.
Yeah, that's the best time in our house. When all the questions
Yeah.
happen, it's bedtime, probably because they're procrastinating. I mean, if we're being
Yes,
honest. But it's a
absolutely.
beautiful time to sit down
Yeah.
when it gets quiet, read stories, ask questions, answer questions, and build
Breathe,
that
breathe.
relationship.
Yeah. We get to
Yeah.
breathe at bedtime, right?
Yeah.
Because we're always so busy doing, and parents are so occupied with their children's extracurricular, and you're running here and running there. And it's a busy time. So bedtime is a good time. You're right.
Yeah. Joanne, where can we go if we want more information about Abby and Ethan and your books and also to order them?
Oh, it's on Amazon. Absolutely. You can get it through amazon.com.ca. You can get it on my website, on Instagram. There's a link tree where all my socials will be connected through there. And yeah, yeah, Amazon, probably the best place.
All right. You can Google it too.
Yeah, but
Yes. Thank you so much, Joanne, for spending time
oh,
with us today. And if you are interested in checking out the books, you can always go to Joanne Bieler, which is BIELER.com.
that's right. Excellent.
Awesome. Joanne, thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the time you gave me.
Oh, of course. Anytime.